All right, first and foremost, I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope everything's going great. I just want to start this with positivity because that's where you need to be. Alrighty, guys, so like I said, if this is your first year into the business, you've been in it for less than a year, you're a licensed real estate agent, well, these are kind of the steps and kind of key points that I think you will take from and be like, wow, that was amazing stuff. Because I've spent so much time learning how to be successful and a lot of time also implementing them one at a time, kind of just stacking them one at a time and just have a lot of knowledge, and I'm sure you have more, or if you don't, no worries, you're here to learn, right? But if you have more knowledge, I would love to hear from it. So the first thing is to make sure you choose a brokerage and or team that you have the best training, you have the best culture and mentorship. Let me give you a little story about my experience and how I learned this. So when I first got into the business, I had a family friend who was a broker and had his own brokerage in my town that I went to high school in, and his wife was actually the dance instructor of the high school I went to. And so I kind of like family friend kind of deal. And so I went up to him, I was like, hey, what do you do? Because I saw money and I'm like, okay, how do I make money just like him? Anyway, so he put me and connected me with real estate school, got my real estate license, joined his stuff. And then I didn't realize this. I was kind of blind because I didn't know what was right, what was wrong. But I came and found myself like YouTubing videos on how to do basic fundamental things. I had no idea what to do. There was no training. And so 6 months passed, and I find myself at an event for realtors, and that was my wake-up call. I met all these amazing people. I finally took the step to join a different brokerage. I am on Founders Real Estate Group, which is led by Chasten J. Miles. If you're here from his channel, what's up? So yeah, I mean, just that's pretty much it. Like that, you could stop there if you're just unsatisfied with your results because you're in one of those brokerage. Like you could pause the video, walk away, and like that's rule number one. Like just go do it. And it's very important to take away that you are running a business now and you need to make business decisions and stop making emotional decisions. So there's this one quote, I don't really know who said it, but it really does kind of just resonate with me. It is, what happens in the physical world is a direct reflection of what goes on in your mind, in your head. So if you're fat, I mean, you're stuck in a little mind loop about like and not going to the gym or having a bad diet. It's just a habit, a mind loop, and it's all in your mind. Now, I mean, if you have some, like disease, whatever, that's different, but like that's just kind of it. If you're broke, you're stuck in a mindset of like those habits, not a good job, and it's like you think you're, stuck, but you just go do it. And it's like all about believing yourself and stuff like that. So the first thing is to do a lot of research and to really understand who you are, what your intentions are, and get with yourself. Like have a 30-minute meeting with yourself. Like close your eyes and just think about what you want and how to get there, and just go watch some video. Like I'm not qualified to talk about mindset. Like go watch some Brian Casella videos, real estate related. Go watch some. Go listen to Brian Buffini's podcast. I mean, friggin' Danny Morell he's the one who really got me into mindset. But just do it. Just go, go look at those people. I'm not really qualified, but like I feel like that's something I really wanted to point out because, and I put it right after select a good brokerage, because you also want to be in a culture where they have good mindsets. Like they're not negative, they're positive. It's like great. Like you just want to have a fun time and go forward, and they're hustling. Now the third thing is you're gonna have to hustle. Now, if you got into real estate, you're getting your license, whatever, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna get a paycheck. I'm gonna be driving a BMW, like all these nice cars, like the media thinks we are like stupid rich and we don't work much and like blah 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 blah. No, that's wrong. You're gonna have to hustle. Like you're really gonna have to put in a lot of work. Like so much work that you're just like, I've never worked this much in my entire life. So that's something you're gonna have to just rip the band-aid off. And that is also something you want to think about if you're still on the verge of being an agent. Like, are you wanting to or and willing to put in 12-hour days, like 7 days a week for a few months until you start getting the money? I mean, is it something you want that bad? And that goes back to mindset. You have to program your brain to want it so badly that you'll do anything for it. And once you're there, then you're going to be successful. I was listening to the Brian Buffini podcast, and he goes like, he said this. He was like, whatever you put into this business is what you get out. Period. So if you're not hustling, you're not getting paid. And you could be lucky, and like some people, like you made a post on Facebook, and like your friends are like, oh, I'm actually looking to buy a house, sell a house, whatever. Like that's different. I mean, that's a few transactions might come out of that, but like if you're trying to really support like a family and really make something out of yourself, you're gonna have to put in the amount of work you need to get paid and get paid well. All right, so after hustling comes a lot of crap in your personal life. So I kind of bring this up because if you're new to the business, you may have came from more of a corporate thing and very like structured, like boom, 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 from 9 to 5. I'm working. After that, fully personal. I can, whatever, like go hang out with the kids, go hang out with your friends, like kick it back, whatever. You're done working for the day. Now this business is completely led by yourself. And so when you're like having to hustle for no paycheck for a while, and then you finally start to get paid, like during that time period, there's like there's a learning curve, and it's hard. It is hard. So you're gonna really have to, just put in the work. But I brought this up because this is something that I really have struggled with, and I just want to be transparent and let you guys know that I'm coming from the heart on this. Is that once you start making these steps, you gotta take a step back and say, oh crap, are my friends right now, my real friends, is my family supporting me? Like, do I have positive people in my life? Or am I just hanging around with toxic people that like, they don't support me, whatever. I just hang out with them because I'm lonely. Because you do get to a point when, you're spending all these hours working and stuff, and you kind of isolate yourself from being social for a little bit because you may not understand how to organize your time. We're going to get into that in a minute, but this is really hard, especially if you're so used to just having all the time in the world at the end of the day to, obviously you'll have like obligations, like, paying, doing all kinds of stuff around the house and stuff like that. But you get what I'm saying? Like you used to have a structured life, now you don't. And shoot, now it's kind of just like, where like how do I hang out with people, balance all this, and like some people start to get like, oh, you never make time for me and stuff like that. But I have a solution for you. That whole personal life and like losing friends and like all that stuff was simply a direct reflection on what's going on in my head, like I said. And so I have a solution for that. It is simple but hard, and that is time blocking. Time blocking is what will make you be able to have a fulfilled life and do all the things you want to do and still run a successful business. It's just time blocking. And it sounds simple. If you don't know what time blocking is, it's literally like blocking out like time for certain tasks. So from 10 a.m. to noon, I'm cold calling. Like, and you got to isolate yourself. You can't, if a client calls you when you're like time blocked to cold call, you can't answer. You got to keep cold calling. Like you're blocked out. And so, like, I'll change my voicemail, say I'm in a meeting until this. If it's urgent, text me, whatever. And there are exceptions, but only if it doesn't take you away from your time blocking. And so, you need a time block like a CEO. Now, why do I say CEO? Think about a CEO. If he doesn't get these things done, his company is screwed. And you need to have that, like, that mindset of, this is so large, like, this is larger than myself. Because if you're really doing this, I mean, you need to be doing it for, not just you, but your family, and like a bigger picture here. So you gotta time block like a CEO. And so this is how, like I said, this is the solution. This is how you can have a personal life. Just because of this. You say with your friends or whoever wants to hang out, or like, you want to go with kids. It's like, okay, you take your friends like this. Like, hey, I don't have kids yet, so I don't know how that works. I'm sure I'll be laughing at this later on in the future when I have kids. But, you tell your friends, like, okay, I am not available all day until the evening. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and on until like 11 o'clock. We might be able to do something. But just let me know ahead of time and whatever. And this will also cycle out all your friends that don't respect your time. And so it's really hard. And I was actually at this event the other day. It was like a business planning event with EXP. And it was crazy. This lady said, if you ever catch yourself saying, oh, I don't have time for this, or they're always late and all this other stuff, these are habits I had. And she goes, if you catch yourself doing that, that's because you don't have good time management. You're not time blocking. You're not making time to do these things that you need to do. People want you to do, but you're like, oh, I'm so busy working. But like, you're not even being productive. Like, if you say from this time to this time, I'm doing this task that's important and all this, and I can make another video on time blocking. Once I master it, I'm still freaking working. It's so hard. It's really hard, but it's simple. It's like so easy. Just block out time. Don't do it. So it takes freaking discipline. It takes so much discipline. It's really hard to, like, if your mom calls you and you're cold calling, it's like, should I pick up or not? But no, you have to have the discipline. Like, no, slap yourself on the wrist. Do whatever you have to do. And so, who did I get all this inspiration with time blocking with? It's being on Chasten's team, Chasten Miles. He like freaking showed me how to time block, and he's like a role model on it every day to me. He didn't just show me how to, but he shows me how by me watching him doing it, and he doesn't even know, like, I'm like watching him like that serious, and not to sound like creepy or anything, but like he like I'll go in his office and say, hey, I have a question, whatever, and like his body language kind of shows like, hey, I'm in the middle of something, can you come back later? Or tell me like, come back later, come back at this time, or like, let's schedule a meeting to get this done, or like whatever. And he has all these different appointments. He's like, I gotta go, but he's super disciplined with his time, and it's crazy. And because he's super disciplined with his time, everyone around him knows that he is, and they respect that, and everything works with the schedule, and then he's in control of his time, and he gets everything he needs to get done, and it's great. So that's what I'm kind of on track to do. Not there yet, still struggling, still hard, but I'm taking it one step at a time. So if you're new to it, try time blocking one activity a day. Do that for a week, and then add another activity. Do that for a week, and then eventually do it. I mean, you can go cold turkey into it and try to time block a whole day, but I promise you, it's not gonna work. But anyways, moving on forward. Network like your life depends on it, because it does. I mean, if you can't make money, you can't eat, you die. So network exactly like your life depends on it, because our business is all about networking, buddy. So I mean, you can market really awesome and stuff like that, but what's better, seeing an ad on Facebook or your friend going up to you and say, hey, Jacob, this one guy helped me buy this house, and he negotiated this for me and this for me, and he did this and did this and did this, and he gave me a gift, and he threw me a housewarming party. This is the best person I've ever met, and he's so nice, and like blah 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 blah. And then the person who's being talked to is like, all right, I gotta make sure I use Jacob when I buy my house. Network like your life depends on it. And that doesn't only mean like clientele, that means like business connection, referral partners. I mean, I can make a whole another video on that, but it's crazy. Like, go on Instagram and DM 100 people a day that you want to be like. Plain and simple. Rich people, if you want money. Like, well-rounded people, if you want to be more well-rounded. Like, I mean, if you're trying to grow your faith. I mean, go DM people like pastors, go DM people who are serving and just say, how can I help out, whatever, and just offer to love them and like have fun. Like, don't be so serious all the time. Don't be like, it is strategic and intentional, but don't make that like I'm only DMing you because I want to grow. Like, I don't care for you. If you're in it only for yourself and anything you do in this business, you are screwed. Like, that's not how the world works. I know this video is pretty long, but it's mastering your craft. This is the number one most important thing, and I know you've heard it before. All of the people that have been successful early on in their careers in real estate or in anything, they spent hours and hours and hours just mastering their craft. I mean, I've watched Brian Casella's videos, and he shows how like he became wealthy really quickly. And that's crazy. In real estate, it's a slow market. He literally spent hours and hours and hours practicing his scripts in front of a mirror, role-playing, recording himself doing it, posting it, and door knocking all day long. Mastering his craft. Working on his body language. I mean, come on, just master your craft. That's your number one priority. And you might think, oh, how am I supposed to run a business and worry about mastering my craft? Well, didn't I just tell you about time blocking? Control your time, time block, time to master your craft. You're done. Golden ticket right there. Like, time blocking is the answer to anything you need to do. Remember that. And so there's a few things I took away from the Brian Buffini podcast, which you should check out because it's amazing. I'm not getting paid to say that, by the way. Unless, Brian, if you want to pay me, I mean, go ahead. So many realtors are out there that have no skill. And you can jump in front of like 75% of realtors out there by just mastering your craft. Because it comes off as confident. It comes off as you know what you're doing, and people respect you because you know what you're doing. So if you study contracts, you practice role playing, you do all this stuff to really master your craft, and you've only been in the business for like under a year, and you knock on someone's door, they ask you all these questions, you already know what to say, you sound confident, you love what you're doing. I mean, you just are having a great time, you're having fun, you're in the freaking playground, you know? People are gonna be like, dang, I want to use it, like, he's good. But if you're like super unconfident, you just threw yourself out there, and you like knock on a door, and your door knocking, you're just like, hi, my name is Jacob, and I'm a realtor. Like, no one's gonna look at you, you're not gonna get any business, and all the mistakes you have are gonna be very expensive mistakes, because every kind of one you mess up is like, it could be thousands of dollars. And so like, another thing that he said is like, you know, like like a lot of realtors learn their lessons instead of mastering the craft and like really grinding it out. They learn their lessons from failed transactions, and it's like, okay, well, that failed transaction just gave you like what, lost you like $12,000. Well, that was an expensive class. But then the same people freak out about a $300, you know, training course. It's like, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, I got that from the Brian Buffini show. Anyways, when I first did any sort of like video watching of Chasten's stuff, one of the first videos was him explaining how he has confidence because he mastered his craft. Like, he knows everything. He studies. And when you do that, it does reflect in confidence, and you're going to do well. I mean, it's just the secret formula to everything. So if you want the secret formula to being successful in real estate, sorry, there is none. Only that you have to hustle, have hard work, and manage your time, and be persistent, and do it every day. Period. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I know it was pretty long. That's just because I'm very passionate about what I talk about. Anyways, if you want to have any questions, want to get in touch with me, go on Instagram, search up the YouTube channel's name, at Jacob M. Maldo. Or, you know, you can message me in the comments, Facebook, Snapchat. I have the same @ name for everything on social media. You think about all the social media platforms, Jacob M. Maldo. Boom.